Hey everyone, John at 8trackavenue.com here. Just wanted to do a quick little video here showing you some of the issues you may run into with certain styles of cartridges, especially the 5-tab on the back and the 3-tab TC8. I'm working on a repair job right now, and the tapes are in pristine condition. They have not been played for, I don't know if they've ever been played actually. So they have obviously been sitting a long time. Stored properly, everything looks good. But this is something that will oftentimes happen with these tapes when you first start to play them, is the tape pack loosens up basically, and the tape is put back into service. When it comes to the end, and I have to watch these like a hawk. When they come to the end, it broke at the sensing foil splice, that's common, but it ends up also getting twisted up here, and you'll hear it when it's getting close to the foil. It's going to start making noise because it's gotten twisted up here, and I'm not exactly sure what causes this, but a lot of the tapes with this job I'm working on, this has been happening when it gets to the foil. So it's real easy. It just comes right up like that. It's not heavily damaged, but it will need, in the case of this, sometimes there will, like, okay, this has it. You're going to see some residue, and this is from where the sensing foil was essentially stuck to the top part of the foil with the actual foil part here had glued itself to this piece. So what you'll need to do, what I suggest you do, is I like to use just a cleaning cloth. I use these Mr. Clean. Get it back on the focus here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'll use like a little cleaning cloth here to put on the bottom and put the little area with. Sometimes it'll be a lot worse than this. And then I just, I take some 91% rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, put it on a Q-tip, and I take and just gently clean this. And it may take a few times for it to the alcohol to loosen this up. But I like to remove that so that this part of the tape is sliding freely inside the reel here. And then after it's dry, make sure that it's dry. Then I will iron this part. I will use my trusty old iron here and iron this little section flat again. Make sure when you do the ironing that you start it on the lowest setting, because some tapes will need a higher setting. The lower setting, it's a thicker tape, a different formulation, so you will need a higher heat. A lot of the other tapes, the formulations, they need a much lower setting, and if you use the higher setting on them, you will damage the tape instantly. You'll see the physical damage it causes. So when you're using the iron, always start out with the lowest, barely on setting, and then work your way up from there. It would probably be helpful if I showed you real quick what I mean by ironing. So I have my old trusty iron here, and I've already played around with the temperature setting, so I know that it's on the correct setting. But this setting on this particular iron, it's in between off and low. So like I said, start off with really low heat, because you don't want to ruin the tape, or at least you'll ruin a section of tape if you do this and it's on too high. So I have another tape here real quick that same thing. Right at the sensing foil, it had crinkled up on itself inside the reel here, which is very common with tapes that have not been played for years and years. So I'm just going to gently pull it straight here, pull it flat, and then put it up against the iron and move it back and forth a little bit. And there you go. No more wrinkle, crinkle, and the heat setting was perfect, so it did not cause the tape to curl or be damaged in any way. And you also will probably, after you replace the foil splice with this, after you play it through one full play, you will probably have to adjust the tension. It will probably be too loose.